Stay on course with your vision. Okay, you set out to do something. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Stay on course. Stay focused at the course at hand. Learn this expression from Tom Beale. Identify and align. Study who's the best in the industry that you want to be part of. Identify that person. Whether it's the person to beat or the person to identify with, whatever the case is. Identify that person. Become a student of their life and their business. Know everything about this person. Not just their business strategies, but where they were born. What happened when they were 8 years old, or when they went to an orphanage, or all these different types of things. Understand their story. It'll help you understand how the mindset that got them to where they are. Become their best customer. Okay? Guys, you don't always learn from people on the outside. Okay? You need to learn not only their marketing process. There's only things that you learn when you hit the order button. But also being their best customer. If we're not talking about how to make money type of things, whatever that type of mentor is that you're looking for, their information, they put a lot of time in. They put it into courses, light courses, home study courses. If you truly want to be like them, you need to understand everything that it is that they have to teach you. Make it your goal to meet with these people in person. Make it your goal to meet with these people in person. Right now, I think I'm preaching to the choir. You guys took that step to come out and meet your mentors, okay? That's identify. Align yourself with these people. Just let it happen. Leave the business cards away for a little moment. Don't have to run up to them and hand them a business card and start spewing out. I have a product that would be great for your list, and it'd pay you 50%, and here's the JV link, and I have a flyer for you, and all this type of nonsense. And just let it happen. No expectations. You know where the person's going to be. You go there, let it happen. They'll be around. There'll be an opportunity. There'll be an elevator, as there was with Armin Morin. Or there'll be a time that they're at the bar and you notice that they're drinking whatever drink and it's getting empty, and you buy a drink and you go over and you hand it to them. And you get to know them. Listen to them. Learn more about their story. Give them the opportunity to deeply care about you and say, "So, Patricia, what is it that you do?" "Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about it. Why don't we go sit over here? This piano is a little bit loud." And they get to know you. Align yourself with these people. Magic will happen when you do that. Raise the level of your game through others. Everybody agrees with this, right? If you play tennis with a poor tennis player, you will play poor tennis as well, right? Everybody know that, right? Sometimes you're playing something that you're good at with someone that's not very good at, and you're just making these terrible mistakes and faults and things like that because you're playing with people that are bringing your game down. If you play tennis with the best in the world, over time, you'll play like the best. You start playing tennis 2-3 weeks with the very best players in the world, you might not notice a difference in change. You go back, play with the average people that you've been playing with, you start blowing them away. So what does this tell you? If you hang around negative-minded losers, you're going to have very little success. They'll pull you down. And whether you think you have the positive mind to let that stuff bounce off you, it will taint your mind. Some people, whether or not they just currently don't have the entrepreneur spirit or they've been burned, unfortunately, don't live in their world. Don't let them take you down. People, anybody in this room know people like that? Yeah. What are you going to this weekend? Another one of those get-rich-quick seminars, right? Yeah, all right. Yeah, be careful. All they're going to try to do is sell you more junk that you don't need. My brother Bob got involved in that stuff. He's got a warehouse full of all these water filters and all this type of stuff. Very good. Identify and align with the successful, and you too will play at their level of success. I don't know why. I'm not here to tell you the secret formula behind that. It's just the truth. You guys probably even heard it on stage. I haven't had a chance to listen to every speaker. Unfortunately, I was outside doing some interviews and things like that. But maybe somebody has already said this weekend that your income is the average of your 4 closest friends, right? 2 guys above you, 2 guys below you, you're probably right in the middle. So how do you give yourself a raise? Start hanging out with more successful people. You start thinking like them, you get attracted into the game that they're in, and the next thing you know, you're right where you want to be. Right? Finally, in good to great, that we're going to cover today is the flywheel, and putting your flywheel in motion. Okay? When you start pushing, the rotation is very slow at first. All right, now let me explain to you what a flywheel is like. It's kind of like a turbine, but I want you to picture this really big flywheel that almost goes all the way up to the ceiling here, right? Okay, and as you start pushing this flywheel, it's going to start building more momentum, and the more momentum that it builds, the more it's going to attract. But the first push, right? The first push is the one where you're pushing it, and you step back and you're like, that thing didn't even move. And then you go back up again, and it just cracks, and then you start pushing, and you start pushing, and you start pushing, and you don't really notice anything. You're like, wow, if I stop pushing, this thing will probably just stop the very second I get my pinky off of it. Okay, so you start pushing, you build up momentum, now you're in the build-up phase. Momentum kicks in, it starts to get easier than it first was, just to get it started. But you keep pushing. You keep pushing. Then breakthrough comes through. Okay? Finally, you're pushing, and then it's that little roll where it starts to just take on itself here, and then you're just pushing it a little bit more. Okay? And sometimes that's known as the tipping point. Okay? It starts to create its own self-fulfilling energy. But you keep pushing. And you keep pushing that flywheel. But listen to what it says here. It starts to create its own self-fulfilling energy. Meaning the success that it's having is pulling more into it. And more into it. And it's making more of the opportunities that come in happen even faster. And then the next thing you know, it's almost like that, that snowball that's going down the hill. As it starts going, as the bigger it gets, the more snow it starts to get. It's very similar to a snowball effect. No single push was a deciding factor. When they asked the good to great companies, what was the deciding factor? What was that one thing? The good to great company said, I really can't put my finger on it. We just kept pushing that flywheel. Okay? People, as I said to you back on Thursday, people will refer to you as an overnight success. That's never the case. That's simply because you hit breakthrough. People don't remember or don't know that there was a time that you were struggling and pushing on that flywheel to get it started. They'll just see that one day everything is coming easy for you. Like it just happened to you just by accident, but it's easy for you because you're you. You're Mr. or Mrs. Overnight Success. Okay? Everybody starts at the same point, pushing on that flywheel. Everyone. Okay? You're always pushing the flywheel in a deliberate process and a consistent direction. You have an understanding of your hedgehog concept. So you're always pushing in the same direction. So here's the flywheel effect. Okay? There's really no particular start here other than the first push. The flywheel builds momentum. Step forward with consistent. The steps that you're putting forward are consistent with your hedgehog concept. You accumulate visible results. You start to actually see, wow, this is really starting to work here. Okay? And then people start lining up, and they're energized by the results, and you keep pushing, and it just grows and grows and grows upon itself. Here's the doom loop. I've been there. Disappointing results, no build-up, no accumulated momentum, no direction, no program, chasing events, chasing fads, and then a reaction without understanding.